It's 11:23 p.m. You're lying in bed, phone above your face, and somehow the algorithm has delivered you a guy with a Rolex tan line and rented yacht energy, explaining how he turned $5,000 into 7 figures in 14 months by trading something he keeps calling asymmetric opportunities. He's very confident. His teeth are very white. And you're lying there thinking, what if I just had $5,000 to start with? What's actually possible? Here's the thing nobody in that algorithm wants to tell you. You absolutely can turn $5,000 into $200,000. The math is real. The strategy is almost aggressively boring. And the people who actually did it aren't on YouTube. They're shopping at Costco on a Wednesday and quietly sitting on a number that would make your jaw drop. I'm Cody, not a financial advisor, just someone who ran the numbers so you don't have to. Hit subscribe. Let's go. $5,000 to $200,000. That's a 40 times return. To pull that off, your money needs to roughly double 5.5 times. And the only thing that decides how long that takes is your annual rate of return. So let's run it. There's this old finance shortcut called the Rule of 72. You take 72, divide it by your annual return percentage, and that tells you roughly how many years it takes your money to double. At 8%, it doubles every 9 years. At 10%, every 7 years. The S&P 500, the big boring index of the 500 largest companies in the country, has returned about 10% a year on average over the last 30 years, or around 7.5% after inflation. So here's what $5,000 looks like with no extra contributions. At 10%, you cross $200,000 at roughly year 38. At 8%, year 46. I know what you're thinking. That's not a strategy, Cody. That's a sentence. Stay with me, because the magic is in what happens when you add even a small monthly contribution. Because contributions don't just add to your account, they multiply with everything already inside it. Meet Marcus. He's 27. He lives in Phoenix, works as an IT support technician, making about $48,000 a year. He drives a 2017 Toyota Corolla that's paid off, and his apartment has grey carpet that came with the lease. He is not rich. He has just decided he is done watching his savings sit in a bank account, earning basically nothing. Marcus scraped together $5,000 over 2 years. He opened a brokerage account, dropped it into a total stock market index fund, and set up an automatic transfer of $200 every single month. That's it. $200 a month. About $6.50 a day. Less than a Chipotle bowl with guacamole. He did this in the same week he opened the account. Then he forgot about it.
End of year 1. Marcus has about $8,700. End of year 3, $14,000. He's frustrated. 3 years, a lot of months, and barely $3,000 more than what he'd have in a savings account. This is the valley. This is exactly where most people quit. They look at the balance, decide compounding is broken, and pull the money out. Marcus doesn't. Because he watched a video like this one. End of year 5, Marcus is at $21,000. He watches a news segment about the market being overvalued. He gets nervous. His coworker tells him he should have put it in crypto. He logs into his brokerage account, looks at the balance, and closes the app. He does not sell. End of year 7, he's at $31,000. Still boring, still there. Here is the specific year that changes everything for almost everyone who does this. It's somewhere between year 10 and year 12. That's when your portfolio stops being something you're building and starts being something that builds itself. At year 11, Marcus's account earns about $4,200 from compounding alone. He only contributed $2,400 that entire year. For the first time, the market is doing more work than he is. By year 15, Marcus is at $93,000. By year 20, $146,000. By year 25, $203,000. From $5,000 and $200 a month. From a paid-off Corolla and gray carpet in Phoenix. The do-nothing method is 3 steps. I'm going to say them out loud right now, and you're going to think I left something out. I didn't. This is genuinely it. Step 1. Open a brokerage account. Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Free to open, no minimum balance, 4 minutes on your phone tonight in your pajamas. You've spent more time watching someone explain crypto on TikTok than this will actually take. Step 2. Buy a total stock market index fund. At Fidelity, that's FSKAX. At Vanguard, it's VTI. Both charge 0.03% in annual fees. That means on $5,000 invested, you pay $1.50 a year. $1.50. Less than a vending machine soda. And it gives you ownership of essentially every significant company in the country. Step 3. Set up automatic monthly contributions. Whatever the number is, 200, 100, 50. Every payday, money moves from checking to brokerage and automatically buys more of the fund. You don't think about it, you don't time it, you don't check the market, it just runs. That is the entire method. You are now an investor. Now, let me show you why this absurdly simple thing beats almost everything else available to you. There is a report called SPIVA, published twice a year by S&P Dow Jones. It tracks how professional fund managers, the ones in suits with MBAs and Bloomberg terminals and entire research departments, perform compared to simply owning the index. The latest numbers show 65% of large-cap professional fund managers underperformed the S&P 500 in 2024. Stretch that to 15 years, and 0 out of 22 fund categories had a majority of managers beat the index. 0. None. The people being paid to beat the market mostly cannot. And you can own the market for $1.50 a year. There is also a research firm called Dalbar that has been running the same study for 30 years. They compare what the market actually earns versus what real investors actually earn in their accounts. In 2024, the S&P 500 returned about 23%. The average equity fund investor made about 14%. That 9% gap is not a rounding error. That is the entire reason most people do not end up wealthy.
Here is where it quietly gets expensive. Fees. And I need to talk about this because nobody says it loud enough. Imagine 2 people. Both invest the same $5,000. Both earn 7% a year. Person A pays 0.03% in fund fees. Person B pays 1% to an actively managed fund. Same money, same return. After 30 years, Person A has about $38,000. Person B has about $28,000. That 1% fee, the one that sounds like a rounding error, quietly took $10,000 of their future. Now scale that up. On a $200,000 portfolio over 30 years, that same 1% drag compounds into hundreds of thousands of dollars that simply evaporate into someone else's income. Fees are the only guaranteed part of investing. Returns are uncertain. Fees are 100% certain. Minimize the certain bad thing.
You're paying a premium for a worse product. There is no version of that math that makes sense, except to the person collecting the fee. Let me tell you about Ann Scheiber. She spent 23 years as an auditor at the IRS, brilliant with numbers, underpaid, passed over for promotion for reasons that had nothing to do with her work. She retired in 1944 with $5,000 in savings and a small monthly pension. She was 51 years old. She opened a brokerage account. She bought shares in blue-chip companies she understood, household names, steady businesses. She never sold a single share. She reinvested every dividend back into the account. She lived in the same one-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side of Manhattan for decades. She wore the same coats. She clipped coupons. She told almost nobody what she was sitting on. When Ann Scheiber died in 1995 at age 101, her estate was worth $22 million. She left all of it to Yeshiva University to fund scholarships for young women studying finance. Ann turned $5,000 into $22 million by doing almost nothing exciting for 51 years. That is what the do-nothing method looks like in real life. Now, I can hear some of you doing the math on your own age right now. You're 40. You're 45. You're thinking, Cody, that's a great story for a 27-year-old. It is too late for me. It is not. The variable just shifts. Watch. You are 40 years old with 15 years until retirement. You start with $5,000. You contribute $800 a month, 8% return, end balance, roughly $206,000. You are 45 with 20 years ahead. $500 a month at 8%, $160,000. The do-nothing method does not care how old you are. It only cares about two inputs, time and contributions, and it lets you trade one for the other. The only people it truly does not work for are the ones still telling themselves next year is the year. One more thing, and I want to be straight with you. As of May 2026, the S&P 500 is near all-time highs. Valuations are elevated. The next 10 years may not look like the last 30. That does not mean you do not invest. It means you plan with 7 to 8% as your base case, not 10. And when the next correction happens, and it will happen, you keep buying, especially then. The days that make people wealthy are the days that feel the most terrifying to stay in. $5,000 to $200,000. The math works. The strategy is buy a low-cost index fund, automate your contributions, and do not sell. That is the whole thing. The reason it sounds too simple is that nobody can build a business charging you for it. There is no commission on doing nothing, no upsell on patience, no premium subscription for sitting still. The do-nothing method is a financial product the entire industry has a financial incentive to talk you out of. You have permission to be boring. The boring ones win. Real wealth is not built by being right one time. It is built by not being wrong over and over for 30 years. I'm Cody. Drop a comment if this video opened something up for you. And subscribe because next week I'm running the numbers on something else you've been told wrong.